Oh man, back to school, am I right? Well, anyway, here's another math video. Yeah, section 5.3. We are adding, subtracting, and multiplying polynomials. I have excellent news, and that is that this is mostly review, so that's happy. What is a polynomial? We'll save that. Please know, though, that everything we're dealing with today is a polynomial, but we'll more rigorously define it in the future. So, for example, this guy, he's a polynomial. This girl, she's a polynomial. And I don't know why I chose those genders for them. It just kind of happened. Anyway, let's start out with adding and subtracting. It's really easy. All you have to do is combine like terms. And I'm pretty sure that we've done this already. In fact, I'm almost positive. Anyway, probably we would do best by starting by distributing this negative in, or you could think about multiplying by -1. Anyway, the effect that that has is simply to change all of the signs in the polynomial. So this -7t squared, when multiplied by -1, becomes +7t squared. The -5t becomes +5t. The +8 becomes -8. And now all the parentheses are gone because I've distributed in, which kills the parentheses, and all I have to do is combine like terms. This 4t cubed, no like terms. It is like me in high school, no friends. Just kidding, I had some friends. -11t squared plus 7t squared is -4t squared. I have 4t plus 5t, which is 9t, and -8. Like me in college, no friends. Just kidding, I had some friends in college as well. All right, well, there we go. It's as easy as combining like terms. I like using this little underlining technique to keep track of what terms I have used and not, but use whatever you want. Easy, adding and subtracting, so easy. Multiplying, it's a little bit more difficult. So I have a polynomial here and a polynomial here, and I want to multiply them together. We need to use FOIL. Now, we have seen this ad nauseum, which is Latin for something about being nauseous, that we've done it so much. Like, we have seen this so many times, right? First, outer, inner, last. I don't want to go through that example. Here's a slightly more tricky example because look, instead of just two terms in the second parenthesis, we now have a big bad third term. But the general principle still applies. See how up here I multiplied x times everything in the second parenthesis, and then I multiplied -2 times everything in the second parenthesis? We need to do that with our new problem. This x needs to multiply times everything. Then this 2 needs to multiply times everything, and then we'll need to combine some like terms. So let's start with the x. That would be 3x cubed minus x squared minus 5x. Now let's do the 2. This would be 6x squared minus 2x minus 10. And I'm assuming you remember how to multiply and do all those exponent rules because you're smart. Okay, now we have to combine like terms. Lonely. This guy and this guy combine to 5x squared. This guy and this guy combine to -7x, and lonely. And here's my final answer, and that is a polynomial that resulted from multiplying this polynomial with this polynomial. All I had to do was FOIL. Very simple. Oh no. What's going on here? It looks like instead of just multiplying two polynomials, I'm multiplying them times a third polynomial. Now, I know that FOIL is going to have to be involved, right? So this and this, but then like, how do I deal with this guy over here? So let's just simplify things a bit. Let's say instead of multiplying these three polynomials with each other, I was just doing 2 times 10 times 14. You would totally know how to deal with this, right? Just what is 2 times 10? 20. Okay, great. Now what is 20 times 14? That's 280. Easy, 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 easy. So we're going to use the same principle here. Namely, let's just worry about multiplying these two together. Then we'll end up multiplying the third. So we'll ignore the third polynomial for now. Whoa. We're just multiplying the first two together, and I need to use FOIL. So this is a squared. I'll put it in parentheses because we're eventually going to multiply it. This is a 2a, and then this is a minus 5a, so do we agree that it's going to combine to minus 3a? I like doing that step in my head. And then here's a minus 10. Okay, so those two multiplied together is a squared minus 3a minus 10. Now I can worry about multiplying the a plus 6 on. And again, we're going to use that tactic we used last time. When there's more tricky FOIL with extra terms, we're simply going to put a squared times everything in the parenthesis, then negative 3a times everything, then negative 10 times everything. So let's worry about the a squared first. A squared times a cubed, a squared times 6, 6a squared. All right, we've taken care of that because we multiplied it times everything in the second polynomial. Next, negative 3a times a, negative 3a squared, negative 3a times 6, negative 18a. Nice, so we've taken care of that. Finally, negative 10 times a, negative 10a, and negative 60. Here, the terms that we need to combine are right next to each other, so it's easy. We're combining these two to 3a squared. These two would become negative 28a, and then we have the minus 60 on the end. A new polynomial, excellent. Finally, we just have to go over this once more because people forget. You had a wonderful holiday break. If you look at this, many people do this. Woo, I'm distributing in. That looks like 4x squared plus 9. Done! Or dunzo, as the kids on the streets are saying these days. But remember, think about what's really going on when I'm squaring something. If I square 3, for example, that means I'm taking 3 times itself twice. That's what an exponent means. And in that case, you would get 9. So really what's going on here is I need to take 2x plus 3 and multiply it times itself twice. Now it looks like a FOIL problem. So I can't just distribute in the square. I have to write it out times itself twice and then apply the FOIL. So 4x squared, here's a 6x, here's another 6x, that's going to combine to 12x. Again, doing that step in your head isn't too hard. And then plus 9 on the end. Excellent. Just remember, FOIL that guy. Do not just distribute in the square. That was an easy video because it was all review. So just a summary, if you see something like this, as long as there are 2 terms, you can't just distribute in the square. You have to FOIL. I say do not FOIL. What am I talking about? I mean don't distribute. You do FOIL. Don't do that. Do FOIL. And remember, if you're adding and subtracting, much like we did in example 1, it's easy. All you have to do is simplify by combining like terms. Ciao, that's all we have for today. Did I spell ciao right? Bye-bye.